Adam Newman has been here before. The corner office, the big title, the moment where his father looks him in the eye and says, "I've got something for you." And every single time, Adam has learned the same painful lesson. In Victor Newman's world, nothing is permanent and no promise is bulletproof. But this week on The Young and the Restless, something different happened. Victor didn't just take away another job. He may have taken away Adam's last reason to believe he truly belongs. If you've been following Genoa City's most dysfunctional billionaire family lately, you already know the ground has been shifting fast at Newman Enterprises. But the July 10th episode pushed things into territory that even longtime fans are calling a turning point, not because of a shocking twist or a dramatic reveal, but because of a quiet, devastating question that Adam Newman finally said out loud. Does his father actually see a future for him? Or is he just a name Victor keeps recycling whenever it's convenient? Before we dig into exactly what went down, let's set the stage, because if you're newer to the show, the Newman family drama can feel like walking into a chess match already 3 moves deep. The Young and the Restless has been a cornerstone of American daytime television since 1973, and for more than 5 decades, it's built its entire empire, no pun intended, around one family, the Newmans. At the center of it all is Victor Newman, played by Eric Braeden, a ruthless, calculating patriarch who built Newman Enterprises from nothing and has spent decades treating his children less like family and more like chess pieces to be moved, promoted, demoted, and repositioned whenever his empire needs defending. Victor has lost the company and reclaimed it more times than most fans can count, and every time the company changes hands, his kids get caught in the crossfire. That's especially true for Adam Newman, played by Mark Grossman. Adam is arguably the most tragic figure in the entire Newman dynasty. He's the prodigal son, the black sheep, the one who keeps coming back to Genoa City hoping this will finally be the time his father accepts him unconditionally. Over the years, Adam has run Newman Enterprises, lost it, been disowned, forgiven, handed companies, stripped of companies, and used as Victor's secret weapon more times than he probably wants to admit. His relationship with his siblings, Nick and Victoria, has swung from open warfare to fragile alliance and back again. But no relationship in Adam's life carries more weight or more damage than the one he has with his father. Now, in the current storyline, Victor has once again been reshuffling his empire. Victoria, played by Amelia Heinle, has been placed in sole control of Newman Enterprises, a major show of trust from Victor after a long stretch of infighting, betrayals, and boardroom power struggles across the canvas. Nick, played by Joshua Morrow, has been dealing with a deeply personal recovery journey, and Victor has made it clear that Nick's focus right now needs to be on healing, not corporate warfare. That leaves Adam standing in a room watching his siblings get handed purpose, direction, and trust, while he's left holding nothing. And it's not just about this one moment. Piece by piece, the empire Adam once helped build has been dismantled around him. Newman Media, gone. Chancellor, no longer part of the family's holdings. Arabesque, handed over to Phyllis Summers, played by Michelle Stafford. For years, Adam has measured his worth in Victor's eyes through titles and responsibilities. Every promotion felt like proof his father loved him. Every demotion felt like confirmation that maybe he never really did. Now, with almost every position he once held wiped off the board, Adam is left with nothing to point to, and that's exactly why this latest confrontation hits so hard. According to the July 10th episode, Victor gathered Nick, Adam, and eventually Victoria to lay out his plans for the company's next chapter. And in the middle of that meeting, Adam did something he hasn't always done in the past. He didn't ask for more power, and he didn't demand a bigger title. Instead, he asked his father a much harder question. Does he still have a place in the family business at all? Victor didn't quite answer that question the way Adam needed him to. Instead, according to the report, Victor eventually offered Adam a new plan, revealing his intention to reclaim the company's Spectre Charles and install Adam at the helm once it's back under Newman control. On paper, that sounds like exactly the kind of olive branch Adam has spent years chasing. A division of his own, a title with his name attached, a fresh start. But according to those close to the story, that's not actually what Adam was looking for. So pub. Victor addressed Adam's practical concerns, but he didn't address the emotional ones. And that distinction is everything. Victor seems to believe that creating another leadership role will be enough to resolve Adam's frustration, but the underlying issue runs much deeper than a corporate title. Adam isn't trying to prove, yet again, that he's capable of running a division. What he actually wants is confirmation that his father values him for more than whatever position he happens to be occupying at any given moment. So Pub plus 2. Think about that for a second. This is a man who has run Newman Enterprises, who has been disowned and welcomed back more times than most fans can count. And after everything, the thing he's asking for isn't a bigger office or a fatter paycheck. It's reassurance. It's the simple human need to know that his father's love isn't conditional on his usefulness. And that question isn't going away just because Victor dangled a new company in front of him. Whether Spectre Charles ever actually comes back under Newman control feels almost secondary at this point. For Adam, the bigger question remains unresolved. He's not just chasing another executive title, he's still searching for proof that there's a permanent place for him in his father's world. So it's a storyline that longtime fans of the show say has been building for years, but rarely stated this plainly. Y&R has always thrived on the Newman family's power struggles. But this particular scene strips away the boardroom theatrics and gets right down to the emotional core that's been simmering under the surface since Adam first returned to Genoa City. Soap opera audiences online have been quick to point out that this feels like one of the more emotionally honest Adam Newman moments in recent memory, a departure from the usual scheming and plotting version of the character that fans have watched for years. Entertainment outlets covering the episode have framed it similarly, describing it less as a corporate power play and more as a long-overdue emotional reckoning between father and son. So what does this mean going forward? If the show continues down this path, there are a few directions it could take, and it's worth separating what's confirmed from what's simply speculation at this point. What's confirmed is that Victor has offered Adam the opportunity to eventually run Spectre Charles once it's reclaimed by the Newmans. That's a real, on-screen development, straight from the episode itself. What remains speculation, though, is how Adam will actually respond to that offer, and whether he'll accept a position that, according to the reporting, doesn't actually solve the problem he's wrestling with internally. Some fans are already theorizing that Adam might reject Victor's offer altogether, a move that would be a genuine departure for a character who has spent years chasing exactly this kind of opportunity. If Adam turns down a company for the first time in the show's history, it could set up one of the more compelling emotional arcs the show has attempted in years, one centered less on who controls which company and more on whether Adam can finally break free from needing his father's approval altogether. Others are speculating that this could be the beginning of a deeper rift between Adam and Victor, especially with Victoria now firmly in charge and Nick sidelined for health reasons. If Adam starts to feel like the family business no longer has room for him no matter what he does, that resentment could easily boil over, especially given his history of turning to schemes and manipulation when he feels cornered or dismissed. Longtime viewers know that a wounded, overlooked Adam Newman is often a dangerous Adam Newman, and if the show wants to reignite some classic Newman sibling warfare, this emotional wound is exactly the kind of thing that could do it. And then there's the more hopeful theory circulating among fans, that this storyline is actually building toward real growth for Adam, a moment where he finally confronts Victor directly about the emotional pattern that's defined their entire relationship, rather than accepting another consolation prize and burying his feelings the way he usually does. Whether the show is willing to give Adam that kind of resolution, especially after decades of using his daddy issues as a reliable storyline engine, remains to be seen. Again, none of these outcomes are confirmed. They're fan theories, and Y&R has a long history of zigging when everyone expects a zag. What is clear, though, is that this storyline taps into something the show has explored since Adam Newman first arrived in Genoa City. The idea that being a Newman isn't just about bloodlines or boardrooms, it's about constantly proving you deserve to be there. And after years of losing every title, every company, and every foothold he's tried to build, Adam finally said the quiet part out loud. He doesn't want another job. He wants to know if he still matters. For a show that's been on the air for over 50 years, moments like this are exactly why The Young and the Restless continues to resonate with audiences. It's not just about corporate takeovers and boardroom betrayals. It's about family, legacy, and the lifelong scars left by a father who's never quite learned how to say the words his children actually need to hear. Whether Victor ever gives Adam that reassurance, or whether Adam finally stops waiting for it, could shape the direction of the Newman family for a long time to come. So that's where things stand as of the July 10th episode. Victor has offered Adam a new position, but the real conflict was never about the job in the first place. It was about whether Adam Newman will ever truly believe he has an unconditional place in his father's world. And right now, that question is still hanging in the air over Genoa City. What do you think? Will Adam accept Victor's offer, or is this finally the moment he walks away for good? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more Young and the Restless news, spoilers, and cast updates as this Newman family saga continues to unfold.